Welcome back to After the Whistle. The fall sports season is right around the corner. High school students heading back to practice as early as August 2nd. And that makes it a perfect time to bring in NDHSAA Executive Director Matt Fetsch. Matt, welcome to the show.
Hey, appreciate the opportunity, Phil.
Yeah, things ramping up on your end for sure. Describe to me what it's like when you enter a new season.
Well, it's, I say the calm before the storm, 'cause, like we were just visiting off camera, you know, once it starts, it seems like it doesn't stop till we're through June, and we're just at that last little lull here where the call volume's a little bit lower in our office, but our state coaches convention's going on right now, and that kind of marks the end of summer, and everyone knows that the fall seasons are right around the corner.
Well, let's walk through a few topics as we enter the fall season, and I think I want to start with football realignment. Some big changes there as far as teams moving up, teams moving down, new opponents. What do you anticipate with the changes in football and how it'll bring a competitive season?
Well, it's like any reclassification, particularly in football, which was something that traditionally has been done every other year. You know, there's some changes in some instances, maybe divisions change, but teams on the schedule don't change a whole lot. And it is a little bit new look from what's been done the last couple decades. But I think the key is it's probably going to take, you know, close to 4 years to see how the plan really plays out and the reclassification. So it'll be very interesting. It always seems like in the first year of a new plan, when it was done every other year, that, you know, there's just seemed to be a lot of interest with the newness that went along with it. So it's really no different than it has been in the past from that aspect.
You see a lot more schools kind of playing each other. That there are natural basketball rivalries. You see them kind of playing each other as well. Some other interesting things coming up on the fall season. Some venues are seeing postseason events for the first time. I think one of the biggest stories that came out of early last year, Bismarck wanted to bring state volleyball to town, and I believe for the first time ever. What excites you about moving these state venues to newer locations?
Well, we're very fortunate. We're in a state that is, I often refer to it as venue rich, where we have so many options that are adequate to host some of these larger events, and the Bismarck Event Center is no different. Something we're excited about. You know, it's always, I don't know if nerve-wracking is the right word, but it's just the unknown of it. But we're very confident with the tournaments there that Dave Zittleman and his crew have run in the past, that it'll go off without a hitch, and just excited to see how it plays out, what the venue is like for volleyball, and I think it'll be very well received.
Volleyball seeing other new venues as well. WDA tournament playing out in Watford City at that new facility should be very exciting. I want to talk about, you know, a lot of people saw last season as the year of COVID. How do you look back at where you were this time last year as opposed to this year?
Well, I guess very thankful that last year is over, to be honest. It was about mid-July last year when the Return to Competition Committee was formed, when my board of directors made the commitment they were going to be moving forward and starting fall sports on time. I believe they were the first state to make that commitment, and you know, not everyone followed suit, so to speak, and it's just something that, again, thankful we're in a much better position than obviously we were a year ago, and as far as the new normal, I think we're pretty much at that stage right now where those return to competition guidelines I referenced back in June when my board met, they made that a historical document. So things as far as that aspect of it are back to normal, and really any kind of restrictions, alterations, anything like that would be determined at the local level here. But the plan is to move forward and adapt as best we can in a world where COVID is probably going to be around forever.
You mentioned it, and you know, control at the local level as far as how COVID will be monitored. I mean, with variants out there and some other concerns, how long will you continue to be looking at the safety concerns and you know, potential of a new outbreak potentially on the horizon? Who knows? There's a lot in the future, but how will you continue to evaluate COVID through potentially this whole season?
Well, it's like anything that comes up, it'll be constant monitoring and so on. You know, right now there are some similarities to last year where, you know, basically when we rolled around October 1st of last year, as COVID was on the rise, some of our rules in our state with quarantining students in particular, and mask wearing, et cetera. There were some rules that changed there that for lack of a better term, they kind of gave teams a get out of jail free card, where if kids were going to be masked all the time, there's probably going to be very little disruption to their season. And unfortunately, that was the case throughout a majority of our winter and spring. And right now, the hot topic obviously is vaccinations, and not something that has ever been required in our organization or to attend school for that matter. But it's a lot of the same, where there's an option there to avoid disruption in the season, and that seems to be something that could potentially give teams an advantage. So it again comes down to personal choice and avoiding disruption, and hopefully that's the case here again this year.
Hope to avoid disruption for sure. A lot of these kids very excited to once again compete this year, and we can't wait to see them out on the field. Matt, thank you for being on the show once again.
Hey, appreciate it anytime, Phil.